Ashisha with Sheesh So Crafty, also known as SSC Customs and Supplies. Welcome back. I am so excited today to be able to show you all this new tool that I have finally got my hands on. I've seen so much about it on Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, everywhere you can think of. It is kind of blowing up at this point, and it's supposed to be one of those handy tools for sublimators to help us avoid seam lines and ghosting on our tumblers. It is actually the Pinch Perfect tumbler tool by Plymouth Creative, and I could not wait to get my hands on it. I am so excited to give it a try. Although I do love my tape method, I'm really excited to try this one because it is supposed to make it a lot easier to be able to grip it around your actual tumbler as well as to tape it down. So before I go ahead and get started, be sure as always to subscribe to my channel and click that bell notification down below so that way when I do post new content you will be the first person notified. So I'm going to go ahead and get my camera turned around now. We'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so now that I have my camera turned around, let me go ahead and just show you all the items that I need to go ahead and get this sublimated. First, I do have the Pinch Perfect, obviously. My blank white tumbler, which has been cleaned off. My sublimation design, which has been trimmed down just to leave a little bit of white on the one edge. I do prefer to leave a little bit of white at the end of mine, just so that way it gives me that perfect rim at the bottom. And then I have my tape back here as well as my heat press, which is already heated up and ready to go. So let's go ahead and get this started. Here are directions that came with the actual Pinch Perfect. I have already read over these, so I'm not going to read them now. Basically, all it tells you to do is start with a trim sublimation. You want to make sure that your image has the white edging off on one edge as well as on the bottom of the design. And then you want to make sure that you line it up with the actual tumbler itself, with the tumbler facing up the bottom on the bottom, obviously. And usually, you know, I would flip mine over this way to do my sublimation design. But for this reason, or for following the directions of the actual design or the Pinch Perfect, I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. So it tells me to make sure that my image is face down this way, and I have that way. And you're not supposed to pull it tight or anything like that. You're simply just supposed to put this on there just like that. And then what you're supposed to do is take your Pinch Perfect, and where these little grips are here, you're actually supposed to put your tumbler in there, place one grip down here, and you want to hold this one down firmly about half an inch away, it says, from the actual seam. And then this part of your hand over here, the other half, you want to just kind of just use that to tightly pull that together. But you still want to be able to see your seam. So right now I'm not pulling it tight or anything. I kind of just holding it. It's kind of loose, not real tight or anything, because I just want to make sure that the paper itself is down up under there. And seeing that is, now what I'm going to do is go ahead and just start to pull that tightly there. And by me pulling that tight, let me move my tape over here. This allows me to be able to place a piece of tape right in the middle of here. And so I'm going to place that tape there. And then while I'm holding that tightly, I'm going to rub that down. And then I'm going to place another piece of tape down here. And again, you want to make sure that you got a good grip on this Pinch Perfect, because the point is for it to pull your image tightly against your tumbler itself, so that way you don't have to worry about doing it. This makes it so much easier to just use it this way. So I have that like that, and I'm just going to go ahead and just continue to place my tape around here like that. And then I'm going to move this down just a bit, so that way I can lay that one down a little bit more flush with that, because it was still kind of up in between there. And now with this Pinch Perfect, this one is the standard size. It is used for anywhere between 16 ounce to 30 ounce, because this is a 20 ounce design. I find that sometimes with how tight I'm gripping it, the gap here to place that piece of tape, if I'm not using this real skinny tape, it's sometimes hard to get down in there. But the one thing is, as long as you can get a piece down on the outside of it, you can then loosen it up to where you can get through to that. So then what I'm going to do is open it back up. And it's real easy to use this thing. This thing is not hard to open or shut. I love that it gets a good firm grip on here for you to be able to use it. You can twist it around like this and just continue to just tape as needed. And again, it has a great grip to it. So that's definitely a plus to this. I'm really excited to see how well it's going to look. That is really tight around the edges here. Really tight around the edges here. So I'm super excited to see how that's going to look. And look, I already have it completely taped down all the way through. That is flush there, flush here. And yeah, so now what I can do is I can go through and tape around my edges. And that's just to take my long strip of tape, go around, and just make sure I just pull it tightly like I always do. Yep, and then I just fold mine over and inward. Fold it over and inward, fold it up, rub it up, rub it up, and then good to go. Same on this side. So I have that part down, and we're going to go ahead and get this into the heat press. Now it's already set. I do have my temperature set to 370 degrees. And then the time is going to be for 65 seconds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually place it in there with the tape seam facing up, because this does not close all the way with the tumbler in there. So you will see that there. And then I'm going to flip it over and do it on the other side for the same amount of time. And then we'll go ahead and check that. So let's go ahead and get this in. And we're going to start that. Okay, let me go ahead and flip this around to where my tape is at the bottom. And we're going to let that go for another 65 seconds. We're going to let that cool, and then we'll be right back once it has cooled down to do the reveal. Okay, so now that our tumbler is actually completely cooled down, let's go ahead and see if we can get this off. I find it sometimes a lot easier to get these designs off when it's hot versus when it's completely cooled. And now for the big reveal. Let's see if the Pinch Perfect actually works. And would you look at that? That is beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, look up here. Can y'all see up here? There is absolutely no ghosting whatsoever up there. Down at the bottom. Look at this bottom, yeah. And the seam line. Wow, yeah, this looks nice. Now, I can see the seam line. I'm not going to lie, but I think it's just because of my actual image. But look at that seam line, though. Look at how perfect it is. Like, I mean, if you didn't see, if my image was printed spot on, if it was a seamless design, like a spot on seamless design, then you wouldn't see that seam. But my image was not a spotless seamless design. So that is, oh my God. Yes, I like this. Oh my goodness, this little thing right here. I honestly would have never guessed in a million years that that would have, see, look, okay, let me finish what I was saying first. I would have never guessed in a million years, honestly, that this little contraption would have done this. I mean, because you honestly can pull it tight and still get a flawless look. But again, that's the paper again. That's just the paper I'm using. Again, like, this is amazing. I don't even know what to say, guys. All I can say is go get you one. That's what I'm going to say. Go get you one because you see the results. You see the proof. That is amazing. What it did, that was amazing. Honestly. And let me show you why I said my design wasn't a flawless, seamless design. Because what I did was I actually printed, and you can tell based off of right here, if you look at the end of my paper here, you can see where the ink didn't sublimate that right there. That was because it ended, that's what overlapped on this side. It ended right there because I actually printed this about 1/8 of an inch bigger than the actual tumbler itself. So if I would have actually printed it exactly the size of that tumbler, then I wouldn't have had this extra overlap here because I had already allowed for overlap with the extra white strip there. But because I printed it an extra 1/8 of an inch bigger, I actually gave myself too much overlap. So that's the reason why it wasn't a flawless seam. But if I had, you wouldn't see it at all. I mean, you still pretty much can't even see it on here. And that looks, I am like, wow. Plymouth Creative, y'all have done a thing. This is probably, I ain't even gonna say probably, this is going to be my newest favorite tool. Oh my goodness. Yeah, go get y'all one of these. I am going to post their website, a link to their website in the description below, along with an actual coupon code that they gave me that you can use to actually get 10% off of this. Again, this is the standard size that I have, which actually goes for anywhere between 16 ounces to 30 ounces. So you can use these to sublimate 16 or to pinch your sublimations for 16 to 20 or 16 to 30 ounce tumblers. They also have a mini one, which will do 12 ounce tumblers. And then they have a jumbo size that I actually get the big ones, the big tumblers. I mean, the real fat daddies is what I call them, the fat ones. You can use that for that, the jumbo size. So again, go ahead and get you one of these. I'm going to post a link down below in the description as well as the coupon code so you can get your 10% off. Be sure to use that coupon code, yeah. You can save a little bit of money on this, and it's not even expensive at all. I think this costs less than $20. Less than $20, y'all. Pinch perfect, y'all. Go get you one. Link is down in the description as well as the coupon code. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all love the results as much as I do because I am seriously speechless. Like, I cannot believe this little plastic tool did this. Like, the way that you wrap your tumblers really does make a difference. I cannot stress it enough. And this tool just helped out so much. So go get you one, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. Peace out.